receiver screen, breaks the tackle, up the left side, he goes, brought down around the 15-yard line. That's Jack Brown.
There's a flag down, though. Jack Brown broke a tackle in the backfield, broke yet another tackle while going up that sideline. There's going to be a flag down.
Really a block in the back against the Spartans.
And it's against the offense, going to be a block in the back against the Spartans. That's great for the Knights. Really glad to see that play got taken away.
Yeah, Spartans going to be pushed way back here. You had great momentum there with the Peyton run, with the Brown catch and go, and now you're moved all the way back to the 38-yard line. So that's going to put a bit of a damper on your drive. But nothing the Spartans can't keep under control here. It's going to be 1st and 20.
First and 20 from the 38-yard line.
There we go. There's Peyton up the middle. Breaks a couple tackles, and he'll fight his way forward. Same dog pile action and pushing the sticks up a little bit farther.
Ashton Peyton the ball here. Gain of 8 brings up 2nd and 12 from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, once again, Peyton might not have those crazy long rushes, but he's going to break a couple tackles, get as much as they need.
In the gun, pitches the ball. Out the left side, breaks a couple tackles. This Knights defensive line is not getting to the ball carrier in the backfield, and whether that's great blocking, whether that's poor rushing, we're not sure up here in the booth, but the Knights have to figure that out. Central is doing a phenomenal job here early.
Gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 3 from the 21-yard line.
Yeah, that was Will Brown that we just saw running that football.
Jason Campbell, the man under center, you talked about him a little bit pregame. We'll see him take the snap. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Don't see him run a whole lot. Smaller build, and a big hit there from Harrison McGowan to bring down Campbell.
It's true. No flags down on the play, and he got the yardage he needed. He had the space. Yeah, as you said, the Knights D-line is not looking too hot right now. Really just getting ran through.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit to the special teams coordinator on the side of Central before the game, and he was saying the key to the game is going to be run the ball. Put the ball on the ground, make that already injury-ridden defense a little bit more tired. Maybe you know, some guys they get fatigued. Maybe some guys get out hurt. But the more you run the ball, the more bodies are in there. And this small, limited Knights personnel, it's going to have problems keeping up with this in the second half. Looks to be a jump there. Could be a false start penalty on the Knights.
Sure what it looks like to me.
Offsides against the Knights.
Yeah, offsides against the Knights, and the Spartans get just that little more. They are on the 5, only 5 yards to go. It's going to be first down.
You can hear the Central student section all the way from over here. That ball taken, spin move, knocked down on the 1-yard line.
Could not get in.
Yeah, that's Bray Rose, the sophomore wide receiver on the carry there.
With that little misdirection run. Don't see that very often from the wide receiver. Couldn't get in. Stopped just short.
Yeah, there's a great play call there from the Spartans. They run a lot of RPO. It's going to be a lot of short passes, a lot of misdirection runs. It's going to keep the Knights defense on their toes. And that one is punched in for the Spartans. They'll get a quick 6 here in the first half. Sets up for the extra point. It's not what you wanted to see out of the Knights defense early on in this game. That is going to be a tough pill to swallow. Come in the whole week, you're prepping defense on the preach.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see from the Knights. They had that momentum there with that penalty. Spartans really just got it straight back. They had the fumble, they had the long run, and they're just still plowing through.
Here's Lucas Davis on the extra point and boots it through. No problems there. Spartans go up 7-0 early here in the first. No, we've seen it time and time again here with the Knights. I've called upwards of, probably double-digit games at this point up here in the booth. This might just be your second, but you've been in the student section. You've been on the field for plenty of them last year and the year before. It's a struggle for the Knights. This team they haven't been a powerhouse for a while. Back early 2000s, they had some winning seasons. This Knights team has not had a winning season since 2016, and before that it was 2003. So it has been a road for these Knights. There's been a lot of overturn in the coaching staff. Only one coach is over 2 years old in this program. Everybody else has been either overhauled last year or overhauled this year. Most notably, Eric Webster takes over for Brett Bevel, a former player for the Knights. Eric Webster comes in, implements a new offense. Some big shifts here for the Knights in the past recent years, and that's really what you need. We'll see a pooch kick here out of the Spartans, fielded well by Christian Bosley. Tries to get around the edge, and he is swarmed in the backfield.
Hard.
That's Lucas Allen on the tackle. Like I was saying, rebuild takes a lot of time. So, new coaches, new personnel, whatever it is, it's going to take time.
Yeah, Knights definitely looking for that rebuild, as you said. New coaches, looking for new quarterbacks, newer, younger players to put in, try and build some new, stronger teams with them. Trying to make something happen here.
Absolutely. It's their second drive on offense here in the first half. Started with it a couple plays in, moving the ball well. They did fumble to the Central Spartans. Forcing turnovers is a big key for the Spartans today, and they're already starting with that. We're going to see Jalen Blue get it. He is brought down in the backfield, leveled. No gain or a loss of 1 on the play.
And you may be wondering, did I hear that right? Well, you did. That was Jalen Blue, the cornerback, catching that pass in the spot of wide receiver. Brought down early, but it's still nice to see the Knights try something new.
Yeah, a little overarching story here. Talked about it pregame, and it has been all season. Jalen Blue, he transfers over from Central in the offseason. The day before the season starts, he has a court hearing with Misha in Columbia, Missouri. All judges voted in favor that he did not transfer for athletics. He was eligible to play, but that was kind of a scare here in the hallways at Francis Howell North that Wednesday before the Thursday matchup against North Point. He is eligible to play. He performs pretty well the first 4 games for a Knights quarterback.
Yeah, Knights brought down hard in their own backfield.
Yeah.
That's going to be a rough tackle for the Knights. Loss of momentum gone. It's going to be 3rd down and moving backwards.
Yeah, moving backwards. And we've seen that a little bit. Jalen Blue had a bit of a struggle in his 4th game against Howell. It's a lot of negative plays. So they bring in Dean Hyatt, the sophomore. That's a starting quarterback you're going to see out there tonight. That's number 7. He has thrown 7 passing yards and 6 interceptions over the past 2 games. That is not a stat line you see often and not a stat line you want to see as a quarterback. So Hyatt looks to improve on that tonight. Here he goes. He takes off up the middle and gets leveled, but he stays on his feet. Pushed back by the physical Spartans defense, and that will not get them the 3rd and 14 they needed.
No, it will not. Got them about half of it. Nice to see Knights try something new yet again with that QB sneak up the middle. Don't see that very often, especially from the new, unexperienced sophomore QB.
Yeah, interesting play call there from Fred Freeman, the offensive coordinator for the Knights. 3rd and 14, you don't see a whole lot of QB draws. That's not something you see too often at all. And we're going to see a 4th and 11 here from the Knights just outside their red zone. I could almost predict a quarterback punt here from Dean Hyatt. We saw it a couple games ago. Jack Brown leaning in on that left side, looking to block it. Looked like he ran into his own man.
That punt is gone, though. Past the 50, stopped at the 49 of the Spartans.
And also another interesting play call when you have Carson Howard as your punter. The guy booted it last game, booted it 71 yards from his own 20 down inside the 5 on the other side of the field. When you have a guy like that with a leg like that, it's an interesting play call to not use it.
It makes you wonder, definitely. Yeah. Especially when they tried last game, multiple of those QB punts trying to trick the defense. You'd think after the 3rd time may try something new, but hey, I'm not the coach.
Not the coach. We're just up here. We're just saying what we see. So see how that works out. We see some heavy drop coverage here from the Knights on the bottom of your screen. See if Campbell attacks Morrison on the bottom side. This ball taken by Campbell. Looked at the pitch.
Still on his feet, finding space.
Jogged along. Great blocking there from the Spartans.
Yeah. We've seen that good blocking all game long. It seems like nobody's really put in that effort, kind of been jogging along, bouncing along, just plowing through the field, getting the yardage they need, and not much less.
Absolutely. Spartan set up here with appears to be a second and 1. Some confusion on where the ball's supposed to be spotted here. Got 2 yards to go here on second down. Going to see trips on the near side of your screen. They like a bubble option out of this. We'll see Morrison drop back. He does get the bubble. Drops up the left side, breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet and is eventually brought down. That's Don Thornton.
Yeah, that's Don Thornton, the senior this year, senior wide receiver, breaking tackles, really showing that athletic capabilities there.
The guy has some strides on him. Tall, quick, fast, a little bit of physicality, but really those strides. I mean, it took, 4 steps to get 15 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, with one little stutter step to break off Ryan Von Arb there at the start of the bubble screen.
Yeah, and we've really seen that physicality from the Spartans this game. There really hasn't been a tackle in the backfield or really a great tackle for the Knights where they've just brought him down with one man.
Yeah, Ashton Payton there does a bit of a backward somersault after he gets brought down, but he'll take it. Gain of about 5 yards on that rush.
Gain of 7 on that play. Brings up 2nd and 3 from the 20.
It is a dark day. We got out here earlier, and
Yeah,
you and I were both kind of falling asleep. It was like 4:30. We were setting up some of our headsets and everything, and looked out the windows, and it's like it was getting dark. The clouds mixed with the earlier sunsets. It's been a little bit weird, but makes for some chillier football too. Some more football-feeling football. Jason Campbell's feeling himself
Still on his feet.
down inside the 5-yard line. That's
There's
Campbell.
a flag down, though. That's going to be offsides or a false start going either direction.
False start there for the Spartans and move them back again. They've had a couple of those already today where they get a big gain. It's always brought back by that penalty. We were talking to the coaches pregame. He was saying the team was not disciplined against Timberland last week, and that's ultimately what resulted in that loss, 16-14.
Yeah. I mean, they've had those 2 really big plays that would have put them in great scoring opportunities. Obviously, they still scored the first time, but this time, this really brings them back. First time blocking the back, second time offsides. Gotta wonder what the coaches are thinking right now.
Yeah, just senseless penalties, easily avoidable things that I'm sure they'll get cleaned up later in the game. But we see out here the big 3 wide. We're going to see Cooper Whitworth, Don Thornton, and Xavier Morrison. 3 big threats. We see Jack Brown, the tight end, on the top right side of the line looking to come across on a block.
Yeah, looking at Xavier Morrison, he's going to be one of the tallest people on the field right now. Doesn't get it, though. It's going to be a QB sneak. He's still on his feet.
Brought down after about a gain of 5. Some visible frustration from the Knights fans.
Yeah, some physicality after the play. Luckily, nothing was called there for either side of the ball. Definitely some tempers running high as we see some players getting a little talked to by the officials.
Absolutely. Again, these schools just half a mile apart, just a 10-minute bus ride, and a lot of these guys grew up together. They could be a street apart. The French South School District has some weird divisions, some weird zones. People that live 2 streets away from me might go to French South Central, and some people that live 2 streets away from them on the other side might go to North. The divisions are weird, and especially with the middle schools, they're breaking up and everything.
That
Kids go to different
handed
schools.
Off to Ashton Payton, but there is a flag down as he is tackled early.
Not exactly sure what that was. It looked like to be on the tackle for Ashton Payton, and there's not a whole lot of calls other than face mask. Then it is going to be a face mask there.
It is going to be a face mask against the Knights, and that's going to push the Spartans up even more than they already would have gotten on that. Already a high penalty game we've seen. Not sure what the count is on that, but it's got to be a lot of yards. Not only a lot of yards on penalties, but a lot of yards brought back.
Man, no, we don't need this. We called the North Point game first week of the season, and that fourth quarter quite literally took 45 minutes. Might have been closer to an hour. It was penalties struck, and the penalties did not stop until the final buzzer with unsportsmanlikes and all sorts of things. But now Central sends Jack Brown in motion, looks for it. It's a goal line fade. Jack
Brought
Brown.
down by Jack Brown. I talked about it before the game. Only 1 touchdown on the season, but we're looking for something extra, and there it is. Early second touchdown to end the first quarter from Jack Brown.
Yeah, that'll put a seal on this first 12 minutes of action, and what a play there from Jack Brown. That's what he absolutely thrives in, is those deep goal line fades. I mean, again, he's 6'5", 230. Guy's got more offers than I can even count. I was trying to think of a good analogy, but I don't know what really goes along with like 40. So Jack Brown, a lot of offers, SEC, Big 12, Big 10, you name it. Ranked schools probably giving him a look.
Yeah, more offers than anyone I know, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. See here. Boot again. Up, and it's through. It's number 25. That's Lucas Davis. He's 2 for 2 on the night. He's the freshman kicker.
Yeah, freshman kicker looking consistent so far. Hit both of those extra points, looking good.
Yeah, first quarter action here. It has been a bit of a struggle here for the Knights, especially on the defensive side. Offensively, they've gotten the ball. That first drive looked really good before the fumble. Second drive, a little bit weaker with some quarterback runs, some interesting play calls. But it happens. You're not gonna hit every drive. Spartans have.
Yeah,
Spartans have hit every drive. So whether that holds up for the next 3 quarters of action, we're unaware. But we'll be excited to see what happens here. We got 12 minutes in action before halftime. All these seniors playing for something bigger than themselves. Last time they'll play in this stadium. Knights here go on the road to Troy Buchanan, a top 25 team in the state next week. And then they end their season at Fort Zumwalt East. Not quite Troy Buchanan caliber, but another good school. So these Knights really looking to play in front of this packed-out home crowd.
Yeah, for sure. A bit one-sided. We've seen a lot from the Spartans. We had that early fumble, long runs, long passes, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter alone. Their only problem so far is penalties. If they can cut those out, they're playing a near-perfect football game.
Absolutely. Here's Cooper Whitworth. Can imagine a pooch kick. They do not like to put it deep. Will be a pooch. About a knuckleball. That one will sit around the 15-yard line. Fielded there, and a big hit.
Big hit.
Graydon Cunningham fielded that ball. We don't see his name a lot up here. He's a junior on the team. He had an interception, a near interception week 1 against North Point on the opening drive. It was called back for a block in the back. Again, senseless penalties costing this Knights team some big plays, but Graydon Cunningham, honestly the closest that the Knights have come to forcing a turnover. 6 games in, no forced turnovers. That has got to change tonight.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, I think really on that first game, that really has set the precedent for the rest of the season so far. Called back interceptions, no momentum going, and they really haven't been able to start it so far.
Now that ball ran by Xavier. It's going to be Xavier on the carry there. Xavier Holloway. Don't see his name in the running back room.
No, really don't. Stopped really early.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Iowa Hawkeyes. A big Hawkeye guy. I always bring this up during streams. But what always happens is I think of some analogy here. And so last year, the Iowa Hawkeyes were pretty injury-struck in the quarterback room. And we had our free safety, Xavier Wampa, in quarterback meetings. So at this point, you have A.J. Stevens and Duke Valor both out for the season. You have Javon Godfrey playing limited minutes. You now have, obviously, Xavier Holloway going to get some carries. Davion Connor, he's a sophomore. You have Scott Tobar. He's never gotten a varsity carry. He's a freshman. This running back room is going to be interesting tonight, so we're excited to see what it looks like.
I mean, we have already mentioned 2 people that you don't see very often. There's going to be a lot of diversity, as you said.
Yeah, perfectly timed contact there from Central's defense. Mikey Miller could not keep his hands on it.
Yeah, lucky that one was an interception. Kind of hit up, people behind him. Luckily, nobody could get there in time. Mikey Miller hit hard right at the point that the ball got there. Couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, it brings up a 2nd and 15 here after that penalty on first down.
$11:11 left in the second quarter. Spartans up 14-0.
Jalen Blue hands it off. Swarmed in the backfield. The boys in blue are getting to the ball pretty dang quick so far here in this first half.
Yeah, lots of tackles for losses or tackles for nothing. Knights really haven't been able to get a rushing play going, not even one, especially not rushing momentum or getting a drive going, looking for something to change.
Yeah, completed passes have been limited as well. This offense has not been explosive here. Again, on that first drive, a couple nice rushes. You missed that. We had some technical difficulties up here in the booth. But a couple nice runs there. Maybe that was the curse. Maybe it was us streaming has put them down a little bit. But regardless, the Knights running a split backfield here. Look to convert here on 3rd and 5th down. 3rd and 15. Puts the ball in the air. Jalen Blue.
Look at the throw. Finds his man.
Caught by the Knights.
Down with the ball. There's a flag down.
Over the helmet catch. What a play there. Yeah, it's going to be Christian Bosley on the catch. Again, a guy that doesn't get a whole lot of looks as wide receiver, but he's going to come down with it there. That was a phenomenal high school catch.
It was. Christian Bosley really showing that athleticism, jumps up, catches it. The ball is brought back, though. There is going to be a penalty against the Knights. But, hey, really hoping that started something. I'm sure the Knights are. Christian Bosley really shows athleticism, jumps up, catches it over the head of the defender.
Yeah, I mean, the kid's 5'8". He's no Jack Brown. The kid is not 6'5", 230 pure muscle. I mean, he's a football player. We see him down on the bottom of your screen here with Mikey Miller now. But, yeah, Christian Bosley, not a big kid, but he's looking to make plays. Again, senior night, he's a senior. He's got something to play for.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much size on the Knights football, but that athleticism is really showing in the last couple of plays.
See what the Spartans can get done here.
3rd down and 23.
It's never a good number, especially for a team like the Knights.
Oh, snap over the head.
Gets blasted in the end zone, had no time to throw that ball away. The Spartans get a safety.
Yeah, Jalen Blue tackled in the end zone. Spartans safety up 16-0. You don't see that every day.
No, you do not. Let's take a look at that replay here. Again, that snap goes over Jalen Blue's head. Scrambles for it. By the time he picks it up, he is already swarmed in the backfield by about 4, 5, 6, 7 different central defenders.
Yeah, really wasn't much Jalen Blue could have done there. I mean, you try to throw that ball out, you risk so many different things worse than a safety, interception, pick six. So much worse could have gone. Honestly, probably take that for granted, seeing how the Knights line has been. Lucky they didn't get a touchdown there.
Yeah, the best thing that could have come out of that play would have been a throw out of bounds and then called a penalty there, which would have put him back on a 3rd and 26.
Yeah, 3rd and 26.
Yeah, not sure that would have been the best call either. So, best case scenario, you would have been probably doing the same thing the next play. So, miscued snap there. Ivan Pitts, the holder. He was hurt last week with a left shoulder. He'd been icing it all week. He comes back at practice just yesterday. Comes back just yesterday with an iced up shoulder. He says he's good to go. Talks to the coaching staff. They clear him for today. We see him down on the sideline again, number 55. He is taking his sweet time, talking to the trainer, hoping to get him back in this game. See Carson Howard here, set to kick off.
Yeah, Carson Howard got the big leg on him, ready to see it now.
Yeah, in high school athletics, they do not do punts for safeties. They do kickoffs. Back deep to return. He'll take it up the side. That's Don Thornton. Breaks the tackle, and he's brought down inside the 45. And getting chippy on the high side of the field, we see Ryan Von Arp thrown to the ground.
Yeah, they're pushing and shoving. There's officials getting in the way.
Xavier Holloway runs over. Christian Bosley runs over. Trying to calm each other down. This is not the game for that. Both these sides both have a chance to win this game. Sometimes you get into a matchup and you're like, it's Georgia playing University of Southern Albany. You know, like sometimes Georgia's going to win it. But in this game, close contest, the 0-6, the 1-5, got to keep level heads no matter how deep this rivalry gets.
Yeah, that was Graydon Cunningham with that tackle on the kickoff. Slightly overshined, but a great tackle by Cunningham there. Stopped a lot of momentum for Central.
Puts Brown in motion. Drops back. Campbell gets into the backfield. Jacob Foster almost got him down, but that ball will be to Brown.
Jack Brown brought down hard, but he got the yards.
Christian Bosley is fired up right now, number 0.
Yeah, he sure is. We talked about it before, but Jason Campbell, that quarterback, he's not going to be throwing it real deep. He's got a lot of yards, but that's because they throw it short a whole lot. Yeah. We haven't really seen a long throw from the quarterback this game.
Yeah, we just heard some overrated chants there from the student section following that play there from Jack Brown. Still got a good chunk of yards, 7 yards or so.
Sure did. And he's got a touchdown on the game. So.
Yeah. Oh, high school student section is always fun to listen to.
It sure is.
That's a carry there. Dropped in the RPO.
He's still going, still pushing.
Pile versus pile. Should have been blown dead by the refs.
Down.
Interesting, the refs did not call that one dead.
Yeah.
In high school, they're pretty touchy with the whistles, trying to keep people's legs from not being in 3 different pieces. But you got to see what you got to see sometimes. So they let him play it out, and the Spartans will move the sticks once again. I feel like we've said that a lot tonight.
Yeah, I feel like we sure have. Spartans, once again, showing the physicality, showing the ability to commit to the contact. They've been doing it all game long, breaking tackles, running straight through it.
Here's Campbell. Hands it off to Peyton, but the play is blown dead again. Another flag.
More pushing and shoving after the play. Gotta wonder if the game's going to start getting chippy soon. We've seen it a little bit, but really hope it doesn't escalate. That's going to be a Spartans call. It's going to be brought back 5 yards.
That's what the Knights needed there. It's 1st and 15. Setting it up now. Knights work well in a bend don't break mentality. They might let you get, they might let you get 3 yards, might let you get 5 yards. They're not going to let up the big 20, 30, 40-yard plays a whole lot. We've seen that. That is proven true here through the first half.
Yeah.
Here's Campbell, hands it off. Peyton up the right sideline, breaks a tackle. Morrison
gets 2 extra yards. There's some pushing and shoving.
See Xavier Morrison over there chipping. Not good there. Got to keep a level head. That's Davion Dancer stepping up as a cornerback 2 tonight. Hasn't seen that a whole lot, but with some breaks in the injury, he'll be guarding a bit of Jack Brown, guarding a little bit of Xavier Morrison, playing a little bit of the ball. Can't have anybody get thrown out of this football game.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it time in and time out. Ashton Payton may not get those long runs, but he is very, very consistent with getting the yards that you need. He doesn't need those long runs. He'll chip away at you slowly. Once again,
Jackson Schnettler in the backfield, the sophomore. He's been kind of an under-the-radar guy. He did not play the second game after some complications with the first one, but Jackson Schnettler in there to make the play, stopping the Spartans a bit short there, forcing a 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a great tackle. That was Will Brown that ran that football, brought down hard. Great tackle once again by Jackson Schnettler.
We see here a 3rd and short scenario. Spartans thrive in those short down and yardage situations. 3rd and 2. Quarterback keeper for Campbell.
Quarterback still on his feet, breaks a tackle.
Needed 2, goes down when it was smart. Foster flies in over the top, trying to take off Campbell's head, but
yeah.
Campbell played whack-a-mole with him and ducked back down.
Campbell, more than enough yards there. That QB sneak has really been working for the Spartans. On the other hand, we have seen it from the Knights, but it didn't really get the effect that they wanted or needed.
No, not quite. 6.5 minutes here left in this first half of action. Spartans lead 16-0, looking to advance on that lead. Here's their knocking on the 30-yard line. Campbell looks, hands it off in the RPO. Peyton up the middle of your screen and brought down almost after another 1st down.
Yeah.
It's a gain of about 7.
Yeah, Peyton's got a lot of yards and a lot of touches Hasn't been brought down early, I don't think, one time this game. Very physical. Not even the biggest player out there, but definitely the most physical and the most willing to commit.
For sure, we're going to see some trips on the high side of your screen here. You're going to see the big three. We're going to talk about it just about all night. It's going to be Xavier Morrison. It's going to be Thornton, and it's going to be Brown. We see the screen again. That's going to be Thornton. Breaks off, left
Thornton
side.
Still up, breaks another tackle on the sideline. Pushed out of bounds, but there is a flag down at the 20.
It's going to negate another big gain, I could imagine. We'll see what the head umpire says. He needs to discuss it here for a moment.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody over there except Xavier Morrison. Xavier Morrison has had a couple calls this game. We'll see which way this one is going. If it's against the Spartan, that's yet another big play that has been brought all the way back.
Seems like it will be.
The officials wave off the penalty.
Don't see that too often.
No, you don't.
Especially with no instant replay.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough one to call. Maybe it was an accidental toss. You know, thought he saw something or heard something, but
yeah, you got to wonder what happened there.
yeah. Brought ball now on the 5-yard line after a great catch and go by Don Thornton. We'll see him. He's a senior leader for this team. Absolutely looking to get some offers here in his final few games. Does have some offers, just has to decide, you know, sort through the papers in a couple weeks. Here's Campbell, rolls out
Kept
right.
by Campbell.
Godfrey brings him down.
Campbell still up. Gets the pass off. It is incomplete. Wow, what athleticism shown by Campbell to not go down there, get that pass off. Just happened to be a little bit short, but you don't see that from a high school quarterback every day.
No, you don't. Yeah, that was a phenomenal pass there to Morrison on the left side. Almost is able to reel it in, just a bit short, skips in the turf. And the ref got to see it there. Again, no instant replay. These calls are all on the spot for these guys, and obviously they are trained. Doesn't make it any easier. I mean, these things are live action, and you have an entire stadium packed with rival fans that are willing to yell at you if they have
Spartans
to.
on the 5, handed off to Peyton.
Brought down
More
around the
pushing and
1-yard
shoving.
line.
Peyton did not get the 6 yards he needs. Only got 5, but the Spartans on the 1-yard line. They've been pretty dominant so far. Haven't been stopped short of the line of scrimmage yet.
Looking to make a defensive goal line stand as the Knights. They've stacked the box.
That ball's
into the end zone.
For a touchdown. That was Peyton yet again for the second rush in a row. Really consistent. Always able to get the yards. Barely got it that time, but hey, 6 points is 6 points.
Yeah, let's take a look there. It'll be at the bottom of your pile coming up here in a moment. We'll see that there. So 22-0, Spartan lead here. Come on for the extra point. Davis has been perfect up to this point, 2 for 2, looks to continue on that.
Yeah, I've been very consistent so far.
Ball almost blocked, but it's up and through the posts in the sky. It pushes the lead to 23.
Yeah, 23-0. Once again, Spartans 3 touchdowns on the game. Jack Brown touchdown, rushing touchdowns, and a safety.
Yeah, what an odd culmination of events here in the first half for the Spartans, but everything going your way. We were talking again to the coaches of French South Central before the game. He said one key is going to be scoring on defense. That was the goal all week. They preached it in practice. What do you know? They get it. They get the safety in the first half. Maybe a pick six, maybe a scoop and score. Looking to come on later in the game, but for right now, they've got to be happy with that. The defensive score and the 2 touchdowns offensively already.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really is looking like the Knights went into this first quarter with a little flame, and then that fumble just extinguished it. The Knights looking to get that flame back.
You're going to see Cooper Whitworth here. Pooch kick, once again. They like their onside. They like their pooch. They'd rather kick it to you short or knuckleball formation, and I'm wrong again.
My
kickoff
kick.
Brought around the 15-yard line.
Brought down real hard on the 25. Flag down after the play. There's a helmet off. It's a Knights helmet off, and a flag was thrown on it. Looking to see what the officials have.
It's going to be Graydon Cunningham with his helmet off again. We've called his name a couple times out tonight for better or for worse. You don't see him back on the return a whole lot. That time the ball was fielded by Jackson Gamby. And the Spartans will get the personal foul called there.
Yeah, personal foul against the Spartans. Really was wondering what that was. Obviously, you saw Cunningham's helmet off. Looks like had something to do with that. Spartans come back. Even more penalties against the Spartans. It's been a very chippy game between the two. Lots of penalties on both sides, but the Spartans seem to be getting the short straw on penalties here.
They're going to stack the line here. Two tight ends. I formation. Jalen Blue in his quarterback. Hands it off. Davion Connor met in the backfield fast.
Brought down hard and brought down quick on his 41 for the Knights.
Yeah, defensive line definitely a strength for the Spartans. Talking to North coaches, they admitted it. You know, just watching film, you can see it. And looking at tackle totals, you can see it as well. These guys are going to get to the backfield, and they're going to get to the backfield hard. The Knights game prides themselves on the run. So having such a strong defensive line and linebacker core for the Spartans is going to be a tough one to overcome, but they have to do it if they're going to want a chance to win this football game.
Yeah, we were talking to the coaches before. He said he's really confident with the defense. They're wanting to score. They want to get something going, and it's really showing that confidence as that's Davion.
Yeah, Connor's met in the backfield for the second play in a row here. Just keeps pushing the ball backwards. That's going to be something you can't do. You cannot get behind the sticks. You have to get positive yards on first down. You have to keep the fans engaged. You have to keep your teammates engaged. If you're going backwards on offense every drive, it's not going to be a winning formula. I mean, I would almost argue that they have more negative yards than positive with penalties.
I would say that's not crazy.
And with backwards runs, it's been a tough first half for the Knights offense.
3 in the backfield, you see.
Yeah, a little bit of a split back here. Blue drops to throw, sends it deep.
Deep throw, intercepted by the Spartans. There's a flag down though on the 50. Wondering what that was, but as of now, intercepted by the Spartans. Jalen Blue looking deep and underthrown.
Yeah, that's Lucas Allen there. Man's been back to return a couple times. He gets the interception. We'll see what this flag results in. It looks like the ball will be placed where the interception was.
It does. This could be a very big penalty on either side of the ball. The Knights really looking to make something happen. Haven't seen anything from the offense. Spartans on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Here's the call. End of the play, they'll get 15 yards, so the Spartans, I believe, will be pushed back.
The Spartans, that would be a personal foul following the interception, though, so the Spartans will be pushed back 15 yards.
Credit it, that's Lucas Allen. That's forcing the Spartans' 10th turnover of the season, and they will spot the ball up here around the 30-yard line.
So if you're confused, yes, personal foul was called. Although there was beforehand an interception, that means that the interception still counts. The Spartans just get pushed back 15 yards.
Good analysis there. We're going to see some trips here on the bottom side of your screen. It's the big 3 again. Do we see another screen? That's almost every time we see this formation here in their spread air attack.
We've seen it a lot, but it's been working a lot as well.
See Brown come in motion. There it is once again. Takes off. That's Bray Rose.
He's still up. Breaks a tackle. Bray Rose First time seeing him this game. Haven't seen him much, but big reception from him.
Yeah, he had that very first carry of the game, and that seems like a long time ago. Ray Rose gets that first carry unexpectedly, and then yeah, he's kind of been off the map. You know, he's kind of had his location off, but he comes back now, makes a big play, gets him up about 25 yards there on first down.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem like anything's been going incredibly wrong for the Spartans. Obviously, just penalties yet again. If they can get those penalties cleaned up, they'll be a very good team against these Knights.
Absolutely. There's the handoff there.
That was Will Brown brought down on the 50. Will Brown, 2 yards, still positive yards. Spartans seem to just be chugging ahead, haven't been stopped yet, short of the line of scrimmage. 1 minute and 53 seconds left in the second quarter and the first half.
Timeout taken here by the Knights, and Eric Webster looking to recalibrate here as they trail 23 with just under 2 minutes here in the first half. You can hear the booming Central student section from across the field. That thing is packed. The newly renovated visitors seating on the far side of the field just got implemented this year. Last year was the first year on this new field and this new campus in general, but they get that visitor side set up. So on our side over here by the press box, which you can't see, you're going to see a whole lot of Knights fans, Knights student section like you just saw. And on the other side, that's where you're going to put the visitors, visiting students, visiting fans, visiting coaches. It's a nice divide.
Yeah.
It's a nice divide. Now we have room for the marching band up here in the bleachers, which I think actually adds a nice element to the game. You know, adds a little bit more energy over here rather than marching band being forced out to the north end zone. You know, it adds a little bit of atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not very often you see an opposing student section that can rival the Knights here at home. But when you're playing your rivals and it's such an important game, there's not many people who won't go see it, and it is really shown.
Yeah, how could you not? We've waited for this game all season long. Again, it's French Howell North, French Howell Central. These schools are just half a mile apart. These kids love each other, and then it comes this week, they hate each other. It's how it is. These kids might go, get McDonald's for a game, could play on the same baseball teams for clubs. But when it comes to football, it's bad blood. Campbell sends it deep.
Looking deep.
Bray Rose comes down with the ball.
Bray Rose still up. Breaks
Stays
the tackle.
on his feet.
Gets the touchdown, jogs into the end zone. He breaks that tackle from Mikey Miller. Really beat him deep, catches that ball over his shoulder, and just stays on his feet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Bray Rose there. We've seen him a couple times in the run game. We just saw him on a bit of a wide receiver bubble screen. And here on this play, we see Jason Campbell drop back, send that ball deep, goes up to get it, stays, chugs along Bray Rose into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that pushes the Spartans up 29-0 in the first half. 1 minute and 39 seconds left, and they've got their kicker out yet again. He is 3 for 3, very consistent so far.
Here's Davis, the hold, the kick, and there's a flag.
There sure is a penalty down yet again. That's going to be against the Spartans.
Moves him back. I mean, at this point, you're already off the goal line. Kick's getting not out of range, but now it's a clean little 27-yard field goal. Just put Jack Brown in. Send him a little goal line fade. Just put Jack Brown in.
Nobody's out here saying that it couldn't work. We've seen it
It's not impossible.
Game.
Yep. Looking to make this a 30-point extension here in the first half with clock ticking under 2 minutes.
Kick is up. Kick is good. Drilled straight down the middle. Once again, from the Spartans, really their only challenge that they've seen is their penalties. They've had yards rushing. They've had touchdowns rushing and touchdowns receiving. Their only problem has been their penalties. It's lost them lots of yardage, lots of momentum. Just think of what the game could be at without those penalties.
Yeah, I must have just tuned out what you said there. I was kind of mesmerized by these chrome domes that the Knights are rocking. New helmets this year and new helmets this game. It's the first time you guys are getting a debut peek at the whiteout with the chrome helmets. It's new wraps for the Knights. Knights lids, and they're looking clean. They're looking clean.
Yeah,
Hopefully they don't
sure
get
are.
beat up. Well, actually, you hope they do get beat up pretty bad this game. You know, put your
Yeah.
head in there, trying to stop the great run game from the Spartans. But they're looking good. They're looking good. A little bit interesting play here, but I like it. I like it. You know, it's something different. Switches it
Yeah.
up. Fans get excited. Players get excited.
Yeah, Spartans looking to kick again. As you said, helmets looking fresh, hoping to see some contact. Spartans, we've seen every kick out of them so far. And it's an onside kick. Just as I said, we've seen everything. They try something new. Now we've seen everything. Onside kick, short kick, long kick, anything you can think of.
It's going to be Dominic Stevens on the receive there up around the 50-yard line, and the Knights will have some pretty good starting field position.
You got to wonder what's going through the minds of the Spartans. Attempting an onside kick with 1:38 seconds left in the first half, up 30-0. Wondering how tempers are feeling on the north side, seeing their opposition try it, but hey, never know.
Yeah, you're seeing the whole team on their feet. Student section still pretty full. Band getting ready to rock here in the second half, but the energy does not leave Francis Howell North. We got a timeout here from the Spartans, I believe, unless he says he doesn't want it. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a shoe tying timeout for the referee.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Don't see that every day. This has been a game of odd moments.
It has been a game of firsts for sure. Low snap, Jalen Blue looking deep, overthrown by his man.
Yeah, throws that one to Coach Ball, the running back coach. Makes a nice little athletic effort with a little jump in there. First year for him. Guys seem to like his leadership on and off the field. I was talking to a couple of the guys earlier this week, and you know, old running back coach. They said, "Oh yeah, we got along with him. He was our coach. They feel like this guy's more of a brother, more of a friend." So, Coach Ball looks to build on that locker room, that brotherhood for the Knights running back room over the next few years as a coach.
Yeah, you hit on it. Coach Ball not really just looking to build the team, looking to build the chemistry as well. He works with the players, tries to connect with them on a personal level, not just on an athletic level.
Yeah, that's really what good coaches do. A lot of times you'll see programs that struggle, and you just kind of wonder, like, you know, do these coaches even know who these kids are when they're not on the field, not on the court, you know, not on the track? And what really makes a good culture is kids that know each other on and off the field and coaches that know their kids on and off the field. So
Yeah.
the Knights are looking to build that program. The Spartans have already established that over recent years with an established coaching staff and a great feeder program coming up to high school. Jalen Blue keeps the ball on the ground.
He's still up, getting pushed backwards and swarmed in a field of Spartans.
Yeah, he's a tough guy to bring down. 6'2", 250 pounds. He's a tank. Some wonder, is he playing the right position? And you know what? The kid's got an arm. You're not going to question it. Wants to play quarterback. He's got size. He's got some speed to him, and he's got a pretty good arm. So
Yeah.
don't question it. He plays defensive end, some Gator back in a 3-3-5 a couple weeks ago. So, you know, he can move around, but quarterback
Yeah.
is his spot. Again, he played behind Jason Campbell, the starting quarterback at Central, for his freshman, sophomore, and junior years before he moved over here. So today was kind of his redemption game, seeing, you know, maybe did he deserve the playing time over at Central? Is Francis Howell North his spot? Is Jason Campbell the guy? You know, it's a big storyline there. So down on the bench, we're going to see Christian Bosley get a little bit heated there.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration shown from Christian Bosley.
After a bit of a frustrating first half from him with a great catch over the helmet on the defender that I seemingly would have shifted the momentum of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, this is definitely a rivalry match for Jalen Blue. Left his former team, Central, just to play them at North, and got to be frustrating going down 30-0 in the first half, wondering if they can make something else happen here.
Yeah, we're going to see Carson Howard now back to punt. No more Dean Hyatt.
No more
quick
Dean
punts.
Hyatt.
So we're going to see Carson Howard boom this one away down the field.
Yep. Snap is good.
Boots a high sky ball. Will not get 70 yards.
Still in the air.
Fumbled
muffed.
ball there.
Muffed by the returner, but still brought down by the Spartans.
Yeah, Graydon Cunningham knocked down there by Jackson Chartrand. He's going to hit him around the 35-yard line. Could be a block in the back penalty. That's what Coach Ball wanted from the Knights. Will not get it. Cunningham did eat a little bit of turf there. Probably has some stuck on the braces still.
Maybe.
But I think most eyes are on that bobbled punt there from the Spartans.
Yeah. Once again, about a minute left in the first half. Spartans are up 30-0.
They're going to push this football too. There's no slowing down on rivalry night.
No. Especially with a minute left in the first half. Going for anything you can get.
That ball up around the 40-yard line. No flags down.
Once again to Don Thornton. Gets the yardage he needs. Sticks are moved yet again. It's going to be first down for the Spartans.
Campbell drops back, looks deep. Morrison
deep.
Wide open, breaks a tackle. He's got two to beat.
Breaks. Oh, brought down. Cleat comes off. That was a great tackle by Christian Bosley. We've seen so much out of him this game.
Another timeout called here by the Spartans. Looking to stop the clock. 31 seconds to go in this first half of action. It's been pretty one-sided here, 30-0. I know it tells us a little about the Spartans' success and why maybe it's worked better than expected for them. The Knights here talking it over. They cannot allow another touchdown to hit the back of their end zone. I mean, another touchdown would seemingly put this game out of reach for the for the Knights, and the Spartans would be well in the driver's seat if they weren't already.
Yeah, I think they're already pretty much there. I mean, really going to have to be a shift in mentality going into the second half. 31 seconds left, up 30-0. Gotta assume that the Spartans have got to be going for it.
Going to see it again there. Trips on the bottom side of your screen for the Spartans. Do they see another man in motion? No. Sends it. Far side, one-on-one. It's caught! Don Thornton. A touchdown for the Spartans.
Yeah, we've seen Dom Thornton multiple times this game. Brings that one in yet again for the second receiving touchdown of the game. First one by Jack Brown, second one by Dom Thornton. We've seen Dom Thornton lots of receiving yards so far.
Yeah, 36 unanswered points here in the first half. It's a tough pill to swallow here if you are the Knights, but no game is out of reach. As my grandma always used to say, it's not over until the fat lady sings. So we're going to see if the Knights can put their heads down and work this second half as this first half is coming to a close.
Yeah, freshman kicker yet again. He has 100% accuracy so far this game. And a flag is thrown before the snap even happens.
False start on the Spartans, pushes them back 5 yards. I say we go back to the Jack Brown goal line. I mean, just send it on the fade.
Yeah.
You know, maybe send Don Thornton on a fade. He just had one right there.
Yeah.
He'll go up and grab it.
It's been proven that the fades work. Why not use them?
Here's Davis.
Kick is
nearly
up,
blocked there.
Kick is good.
Tristan Bosley hobbles off the field there. Maybe something in his ankle. We saw it a couple weeks ago. Maybe a recurring injury. He tried to block that kick in there. Kick was up and good, and he hobbled off. So hopefully he is all good for the remainder of this game because they're going to need him.
Yeah, definitely. He's a big, crucial part of the team. A lot of big plays. You saw almost that block. That would have been a great momentum shift for the Knights to get something going. 37-0 for the Spartans.
Yeah, what are you putting bets on, Noah? Are we thinking deep kickoff, pooch kick, onside kick?
I'm thinking onside kick. I'm not going to lie. We've already seen it this game. We've seen the Spartans really trying to force that yardage. With 23 seconds left, I can see them going for it for sure. They went for it with, a minute 30 seconds left in the half.
And if the Knights are struggling to move the football, and giving it to them at the 50 is not a crazy. We're terrible at predicting.
Yeah, yet again, proven wrong. That was a knuckleball and hit hard.
Bobbled by Cunningham. You saw the big hit there. That's Chris Hollis.
Yeah, Cunningham hit real hard, bobbles the ball, gets up just to be face-to-face with the Spartan defender.
Yeah, he's like waddling along the sideline there. Cunningham looks like he got hit pretty hard in the head.
Definitely.
Not a very big guy. He's quick, but he's not very big, so getting hit by somebody as big as Hollis,
I mean, you can
it's going to take a toll.
He got up wobbly. He really was hit hard.
Readjusting his helmet a bit. Kind of looking like Cam Scattaboo, but, you know, it's, you know, in a way, right?
Yeah.
We see Blue line up as a receiver. We see Hyatt back under center. See what they can do. 3 wide. Hyatt. He'll just go down. A quarterback kneel, down 37.
But he's still up. It looked like a quarterback kneel, but the play went on for about 5 seconds longer than it should have been.
It was a quarterback kneel without the kneel part. It was just a quarterback.
Just a quarterback just standing there, it looks like.
Very interesting play call there. That'll be the end of our first half of action. 24 minutes down, 24 minutes to go. Spartans lead 37-0. Noah, walk us through what you've seen so far this first half.
I mean, yeah, for the Knights, you've seen not much. I'm not going to lie. They've tried to get the running game going, tried to get the passing game going. For the rushing, they've had Davion Dancer rushing from the backfield, brought down almost every time early. Many tackles for losses, many tackles for nothing. And then the Knights on the throwing side of the ball really haven't gotten anything. I don't know if I've seen a completed yard for more than 5, or completed pass for more than 5 yards this game from the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights have had some offensive struggles here, especially in the throwing game. We've seen some rough quarterback play here. Again, that 50-50 split from Jalen Blue to Dean Hyatt. It's been questionable.
Yeah.
You know, there was a decision that was made from the coaching staff. Whether they continue that, it's going to be interesting to see who they pick. From the Spartans, it's been nearly flawless up until this point. We see Jason Campbell. Tell us a little about the Spartans offense so far.
I mean, yeah. Meanwhile, from the Spartans, we've seen Jason Campbell under the gun, taking the snaps, throwing, been flawless, multiple passing touchdowns right where you want them. We've had breaking tackles, rushing touchdowns. We haven't had a tackle for loss from the Spartans yet. We've had great tackles from the Knights, but not where you need them. No. Haven't been stopped at the goal line, gotten the yards they need every time. I don't know if there's been a turnover yet.
No, it's been flawless. Every drive the Spartans have scored, there's been no punts.
Nope.
Been no turnovers. So, Spartans executing at peak efficiency right now. So, in just about 20 minutes after the marching band and color guard performances, along with the Nightline and cheer teams, we'll be back with you for the second half of action. 24 minutes remain in this cross-district classic as the Francis Howell Central Spartans lead 37-0 over the Francis Howell North Knights. Once again, I'm Kane Manfull, joined here by Noah Ridling. We'll be back with you shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, please welcome to the field, Nightline.
How low can you go? How low can you go? How low can you go? Thought she could. Lower than your mama's ever seen it in her lifetime. Never would have imagined it, not even in her right mind. Practice up under that mirror, now you doing it on the dance floor. Show me how to dance. Can you go? Can you go? Can you go? Can you go? Go, go. Drop it, hit it, dump it, split it, don't stop.
Tonight is a very special night for the 7 seniors on the varsity cheer team. Please put your hands together for them as they lead the team in their last home football game. Araya Burris, Dina Ermias, Leighton Hemmer, Jenna Lauer, and captains Reese Earhart, Brianna Boyette, and Michael Hodge. Every October, Pink Out Games take place around the region as high school teams do their part to keep breast cancer awareness at the top of our minds for friends, family, and fans. School colors are replaced with a sea of pink at games all month long, spreading awareness to a community-wide audience that might not otherwise think to practice early prevention methods. The night cheerleaders will be coming around with pink buckets to collect donations which will go towards scholarships for high school students affected by cancer. Please give generously. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Night Pride Marching Band performance is brought to you by Classic Air Care. With a commitment to 100% customer satisfaction, Classic Air Care provides repair, maintenance, and installation for your HVAC, plumbing, and electrical needs. They're dedicated to making your life more comfortable. Classic Air Care is proud to support the FHN Marching Band. The Night Pride Marching Band performance is also brought to you by Dane Huxell of State Farm. As an FHN band parent, Dane wants to help protect your family. Dane offers competitive insurance options for your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Join us in thanking Dane Huxell and Classic Air Care for their generous support of our Night Pride Marching Band. Please visit the Night Pride website at FHNbands.com to learn more about the band and our sponsors. That's FHNbands.com.
As is tradition for the final high school performance for our marching band, the seniors are leaving their shoes on the field to leave their legacy behind. Thank you, seniors, for all your hard work over the last 4 years.
This one works. Good? Okay, awesome. I'll be right back to see you. Cool.
to retake the field here for this second half of action.
Seconds left of halftime. Looking to see those Knights come out now, trying to get something started.
Yeah, an unfortunate first half for the Knights, and for the Spartans, it couldn't have gone much better offensively and defensively. You held the Knights to under 30 offensive yards. Spartans just about got anything that they wanted. So
yeah.
Spartans look to continue that tradition. Noah, walk us through some keys to continued success for the Spartans here through the last 24 minutes.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about it, but the Spartans really had anything going that they wanted. Not a single punt, not a single turnover. They had rushing yards, they had rushing touchdowns, they had passing yards, they had passing touchdowns, had new people implemented. I mean, obviously, you see Jason Campbell taking the snaps, throwing it deep. When he was throwing it deep, he was throwing it to their chest, right where he wanted that ball. Showing his athleticism, never sacked, getting the ball out every time. One near sack, but he got the ball out in perfect time. Really just did everything he needed to get done.
Yeah, Jason Campbell has played phenomenally here through the first half of action. And we've seen, again, Jalen Blue and Dean Hyatt, the senior and the sophomore, splitting some time in the backfield. Hasn't exactly worked out perfectly as offensive coordinator Fred Freeman drew it up. But they look to continue. It'll be exciting to see what they do this second half of action, whether that's strictly one quarterback, changing up some schemes, because that's what halftime's all about. If you can't make halftime adjustments, what are you good for? You have to be able to do things in the locker room. That's why they give you 20 minutes. You draw things up, you talk with your coaches, then you go talk to your team, and you really let them know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure. And the Knights really hoping to come out a different team than they were that first half, because after that first half, really struggling, not much momentum, couldn't get many yards, not a single big play going for them. Spartans had so many big plays that they had half of them called back for penalties, and they still have 37 points on the board after one half.
Yeah, this team is not a big scoring team. Again, we looked at it in pregame. They're averaging just 17 points a game, and the most they've put up this year so far is 34 points. So they've already broken that in the first half against the Knights, and they haven't been playing, the biggest of the big teams. It's not like they've played Festus, and they've played Vianney, Zumwalt West, Troy. I mean, they've played some big names. Timberland, you could put some points up on Timberland.
Oh, for sure.
Knights struggled with it. You put some points up on them. Liberty, put up 21 on Liberty. Liberty's a good team.
Yeah.
But obviously, Spartans have an explosive enough offense that 37 points is not unfeasible in a game setting against a bigger name than maybe the French Howell North Knights are on your schedule.
Yeah. And it really goes to show the mentality of both teams. I mean, Central coming into this game with one win, but that win really showing that they can win it. The Knights haven't had a win in 2 years, really don't have that mentality of I can do this. They're probably going into each game struggling. Central going into it knowing that they can win, knowing that they should win. Knowing that they should win definitely brings a little edge to the team.
For sure, both teams getting stretched out, meeting up in their huddles, ready for this second half of rivalry football action. Student section getting excited over there. A little back and forth. Hooray, 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 right? Knights fans, again, it's been 2 long years of long football, well, short football games, a lot of running clock, but it's been 2 long years of some long football games and long Friday nights, and the Knights fans continue to support, show up, throughout the new building being made. They're for 2 years straight, Francis Howell North's football team played at Francis Howell Central. That was a little known fact. A lot of these guys, their senior night, last time we played on this field, they've only been here for 2 seasons. Their practices in their freshman and sophomore years were at Hollenbeck Middle School, and their games were at Francis Howell Central High School. So homecoming, it's not at home. It's at their home. So when you'd have homecoming and maybe you'd play the Spartans, it was an interesting dynamic. But back in the day, they did play their homecoming games at Lindenwood University, nearby university, Division I as of 2 years ago, but a smaller school, so they were able to rent that out for their homecoming game. So it gave them a bit of bit of a cool feel, but not quite coming home.
Yeah, and as you said, Knights just recently moved into this new stadium and new school. Before that, had an excuse to not be the greatest football team in the world. I mean, they didn't have their own field. They didn't have their own stadium. They weren't playing at their home. They were playing on grass. Now there really isn't much to go off of, so the Knights, seeing that, made some coaching changes, made some position changes, brought in some new people, including Jalen Blue from Central, really hoping to see the rebuild make some changes for the good on the Knights team.
For sure. You see this kickoff formation that I'm seeing out of the Knights?
I sure am.
Call that a 3-3-1-3? I don't even know how you'd classify that.
I have no clue.
And Howard's going to pooch it.
Oh.
Fielded cleanly, and he'll go down, drops to the floor. Good hands team play there. That's going to be Will Brown making the catch.
Yeah, Will Brown, we've seen that name multiple times this game. Really great on the offensive side of the ball. He's got a lot of yards in this game, receiving and rushing, I believe. Seen a lot from Will Brown so far today.
Yeah, again, in high school athletics, 35 points is the cutoff for running clock. So this second half will be moving quickly unless the Knights can get some points on the board here. But already 30 seconds off the clock before the plays even started. Heavy rush. Cuts back.
Handed off, that's Peyton.
Up the right sideline, gets a block. Takes off. He goes. Knocked out around the 2-yard line. Ashton Payton
pushed out of bounds.
Distance.
I believe that was...
Yeah, that was a great effort there all the way up the sideline. Xavier Holloway making the effort. He was playing all the way on the other side, came in on the blitz, got himself back to make the stop on Ashton Payton. Payton pushes himself nearing 100 rushing yards so far in this contest.
Xavier Holloway, great tackle there. Saved the touchdown, but so much momentum going for the Spartans. First play of the half, really isn't much you can do. As I say that, brought down for a loss on the goal line from the Knights.
One of the first tackle for losses we've seen out of this Knights defensive front, and it comes at a great time. You just saw Peyton's giant explosive play down inside the 5. Now you kick him outside that 5-yard line. Now whether or not 4 yards is going to stop this explosive Central offense, probably not. Maybe not, but it could. It pushes them back enough to where momentum shifts a little bit more in your favor, and you don't feel like you're on your heels.
Yeah.
We see one-on-one, bottom of your screen, Morrison. Campbell drops back, rolls right, top side.
Runs, stays in bounds, takes a big hit. Opted to not step out of bounds there.
Yeah, we'll say one thing. Campbell is not afraid of any contact. And, maybe he's playing for nothing. What happens if he gets hurt? Well, if he gets hurt, his offer is at risk. He just committed to Missouri S&T for volleyball as an outside pin hitter just actually a few days before this game.
Yeah.
So exciting for him there, but he is still playing football, putting his body on the line. It's exciting to see high school guys that can play 2 sports and play them both well.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about that physicality. We've really seen that the entire game from the Spartans offense. As that happens, Peyton dives in for the touchdown. That's yet another rushing touchdown for Peyton. I don't even think he was touched there. His gap wide open, so much space, jogs it into the end zone yet again for a Spartans touchdown. That puts them up 43-0 with 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter.
There.
Excuse me.
Yeah, great play call there from the Spartans. Get some more points on the board. The Knights are just getting beaten at just about everything that they could possibly do. The defensive line looked good. Defensive line looked bad. Secondary looked good. Secondary looked poor. We're just seeing it over and over. There's just some repetition here from the defense of some happy streaks, but streaks don't win you football games. Consistency does.
Yeah, a little bit of pointing going on there on the line of scrimmage. No flags down. A little bit of frustration, asking the officials what happened. Luckily, no chippiness. Yeah, I mean, you see this week after week from the Knights. You got to wonder eventually what's going through the coaches' heads. brand new coaches, basically a brand new team. You just got to wonder what's going through their head and what changes they've got to make in order to set this team straight.
Yeah, it's been years and years of constant struggle. Fan optimism, player optimism, coach optimism. Anytime there's a change, the whole school gets buzz about it. We heard Jalen Blue is coming over. That was exciting. Heard Eric Webster was hired from an Arkansas school. That was exciting. Coach Ball, exciting. We get all these, Coach Martin, exciting. There's all these new changes made to the Knights program, and it creates buzz and excitement around the team. And week after week, it just never falls their way. So something has to change here in the next few games, next few years. Something has to change for this program to work. And I don't know if that's offensively, if that's a culture change, if that's defense, if that's personnel. I don't know how you do it. I'm no coach. But the biggest struggle that is typically brought up is they don't have enough people. I mean, you look at that sideline, it is very, very barren in terms of sizable varsity athletes.
Yeah, it's a big boot from the Spartans. Yet again, that was Jackson Gamby on the return. Brought down early inside his own 20. I believe that's spotted on the 19. Not what we're looking for out of the Knights.
We will see Hyatt under center. We see Holloway and Connor in the backfield in the I formation. Holloway gets a carry, and he is leveled and pile-driven backwards. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Holloway crushed on that hit. I mean, shoulder straight to the chest. About as clean of a tackle as you can get. Stopped all of his momentum. Really nothing you can do to break that one.
Xavier Holloway was the ball carrier in that last play. And the backfield for a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12.
I believe that was a loss of 2 yards. Yet again, another tackle for loss for the Spartans.
Hands the ball off and nowhere to go.
And it's going to be another one for the Spartans. That's 2 in a row, tackle for losses. Got to wonder if the rushing game is what we need to be trying right now from the Knights. I know they haven't tried putting the ball in the air as much, but 2 tackles for losses in a row. Don't know how you can force yourself to try and run the ball again.
Yeah, again, you had Ivan Pitts go down early. He's been kind of in and out so far this game. So, center to quarterback connection is arguably one of the most important. Maybe long snapper to punter, long snapper to kicker. Those are 2 important ones. But you see Diesel Blanton, okay? He's going to be coming in to play center, and a different center, that throws everything off just a little bit.
Yeah, center's really leading the line there.
Referees will blow this one dead, but, yeah, center is very crucial, as you were saying.
Very crucial position.
Knights take their first of the half on this 3rd and 15. Centers are crucial, but so is this drive. I mean, if you fail to get a first down here, down 44, this game is nearly over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's running clock. You're not going to get a whole lot other than these timeouts. You've either got to turn to no huddle or you've got to get some defense going.
Yeah, I mean, I would say you need more than a first down here. Like, you need more than a first down here. You need points on the board. It is 44-0. We've got nothing going for us right now. The Knights really need something here. Not much momentum. Meanwhile, the Spartans, all the momentum in the world.
Yeah. Walking in on senior night, putting up an absolute show. Jason Campbell and the rest of his dogs, they have shined so far this game. And the defense has done their job as well. Jack Brown playing all 4 quarters tonight, racking up some more tackle totals as he does. Outside, we were talking about drop coverage. They actually switched it up this game. It's been a lot of press coverage and a lot of guys coming heavy to the football. Holloway met in the backfield once again, forces a 4th and long.
Yeah, it's going to be Holloway yet again. Brought down early. Carson Howard out on the field. Got to assume he's punting. I can't see anything crazy or special getting tried from the Knights here, down 44-0. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we know William Crawford, the special teams and wide receivers coach. He likes to try some trickery every once in a while, some different formations you don't always see, but backed up against your own goal line, couldn't imagine anything crazy here.
We've been wrong before, though.
We have been wrong before.
High snap. It is a punt.
Good boot about to the 50-yard line. A flag comes down. This ball taken.
Whoa. More pushing and shoving, holding players down right in front of the officials.
Stays on his feet. He keeps going. We thought he was down. He'll be into the end zone, tackled almost by Carson Howard, but there was so many flags. That play was nearly blown dead from the start.
Holy cow. Carson Howard, yet again, has to make that touchdown-saving tackle. Can't quite get it. Returned for a touchdown, and that wasn't a weak punt either. Caught right around the 50 from their own goal line. The blockers for the Spartans are just really incredible so far this game.
Yeah, 50 yards through the air. We saw a very similar punt, like you were saying, with Carson Howard trying to make that touchdown-saving tackle after the coverage team for the Knights on punt return could not seal up Don Thornton. We saw it back at St. Charles West week 3, and we see it again tonight.
Yeah, once again, we talked to the coaches before the game, and they talked about scoring on defense. Now, I don't know if that includes special teams, but I would assume it does. Yeah. You can never be mad with that return for a touchdown.
Not at all. Yeah, special teams, defense, it's essentially free points.
Yeah.
Your offense is getting to stay off the field a little bit. Your defense gets the stop and then gets amped up to make the next stop. So it's really just a win-win in terms of pick sixes and scooping scores and special teams.
That being said, that touchdown was called back due to penalties.
This ball kept by Campbell. Gets around his blockers, and he's brought down. Gain of 6. Seems like one of the shortest gains we've seen all game, and it's still 6 yards.
Yeah, I mean, you can have 6-yard plays all game long, and you will win a football game. And that seems like it's been the shortest play of the game for the Spartans on offense today. There is a player down for the Knights.
Unclear who it is, surrounded by trainers and coaching staff. That's going to be
up, though.
Jacob Foster. We saw him go out last game on homecoming night against Timberland with a right shoulder injury. Thought it might have been rotator cuffs, but it does get – he says he's healed up, ready to rock this week. Comes in, has a bit of an injury here. Could it be his foot? Could it be his shoulder? We're not totally sure. We'll get some word on that later on in this game. But that you got to feel for the kid. You know, sophomore year, he's all GAC, all conference as a defensive end. Junior year, battled some injury, and senior year, he has been injury struck once again. He seemed to bounce up pretty quick. He's leaned over on the sideline. Maybe just the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully nothing serious, and that's what it appears to be.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, he's a really special player, but when he's healthy, and he's been riddled with injuries. That being said,
Ashton Payton gets another big carry there of about 15 yards.
Yeah, once again, very consistent ball carrier so far this game. Haven't seen him very often on the receiving end. Some short little screens, but really rushing the ball up the middle. He has been unstoppable getting those little chips. Well, that one wasn't, but getting those little chips 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. Those will win you a football game, and that's what's been shown by the Spartans and Ashton Payton so far.
Absolutely. Campbell puts it through the air. That's Brown. Just his 4th reception of the game, and he's met in the backfield by Michael Miller.
Mikey Miller, yeah. Michael Miller brought him down early. That is a slight mismatch there. Not a large tackler to take down that giant Jack Brown, but he handled him perfectly.
I'll run back to my Iowa fan base there. That's Cooper DeJean taking down Derrick Henry last year.
Yeah.
We'll go with that analogy for that one. Sets up. We got a bunch trips formation on the high side of your screen. This ball's going to be handed off in the RPO. Payton takes it, breaks a defender, gets through 3, 4, and brought down by the 5th. Gets inside the 10-yard line. Payton well over 100 yards at this point.
Yeah, Payton showing that fierce competition. I mean, he's been running through players all game, and yet he still comes out. You can see him trying his very best. He's breaking tackles every play, getting the yards he needs every play. He's really been leading this team.
Yeah, Payton has been on the ground. He's been an absolute machine. He just had about 260 rushing yards coming into this game, and he's nearly half that already in this one. So working working just about the game plan we prepped for. Jack Brown left wide open. Touchdown. That's Jack Brown, the junior.
That's going to be his second touchdown of the game. Jack Brown wide open, second receiving touchdown, third receiving touchdown of the season. Great game for Jack Brown.
Yeah, Jack Brown wasn't highly implemented in the offense, had some struggles getting him the football, but he just shines today, and it seems like the Spartans have all been shining under the lights tonight. We see touchdowns from multiple different guys. We see Don Thornton, we see Bray Rose, we see Jack Brown, we see Jason Campbell. I mean, Ashton Payton. It's everybody.
Yeah,
the ball's been spread very well.
Everybody on the team been spread perfectly throughout the whole team. For the Knights, they've tried the same thing, but for slightly different reasons. They've had people hurt, people off the team for undisclosed reasons. I mean, Knights have really tried, but hard to get something going when you've got people that haven't touched the ball before in varsity football. And that kick is going to be good. Hasn't missed a kick yet this season. It's going to be 51-0 with 3 minutes, 6 seconds left in the third quarter. I feel like we say this every game, but the Knights really just looking to end it with something. This fourth quarter and end of this third quarter is really crucial here. Just trying to get something going, get some momentum going into the next game. Not saying they need to score 52 points in this next
highly unlikely
end of this game, but just end it with something.
Absolutely. All right, now we're going to bring in our analyst up on top of the press box, Ezana Dubale. Tell us what you've been seeing over the past 3 and nearly 4 quarters of football.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Kane. The Spartans got comfortable, and they got comfortable quick. In that first quarter, after that initial fumble by the Knights, it was a whole tone switch for the Spartans. They picked up 2 touchdowns, one after another, and a safety all the way back in the Knights' end zone. This was rough for the Knights. It was a shame, too, as they love starting strong, especially in games like this, but one hit after another, and with how long the season has been for the Knights, pushing through has always been a bit of a struggle.
Yeah, the injuries have been definitely a killer here. What else have you seen, Ezana?
Well, on a lighter note, the Spartans have dropped it to the goalpost so far. They are 6-6 from the field, and this game has been electric. We saw a great throw from the Knights in that first half, and they had the stadium shaking. I felt it all the way up in the box, and I'm sure you two could too.
Yeah, Zana, great insight there from on top of the box. If you're going to point out one key player here that maybe went a little under the radar, are we thinking a wide receiver? Like what position group have you really seen shine today?
Honestly, I've just seen a lot of running from this Spartan team, and I got to give it to Ashton Payton. He's been doing great so far. He's been moving that ball. He's been getting it down the field, and he's picked up several touchdowns. It's just some really impressive stuff we see from him, and hoping to see more of that later in the season.
Yeah, you just mentioned Ashton Payton. We just saw Christian Bosley get a nice pickup there about 15 yards.
Yeah.
Noah, tell us about that play.
I mean, yeah, Christian Bosley started with nothing, broke a couple tackles at the line of scrimmage, really just showed that competitiveness, ran straight through the contact, got an extra probably 10 yards that he should have had, but hey, nobody's complaining on the Knight side of the ball.
Yeah, no complaints there. Great play, longest one of the game for the Knights. Blue drops back, sends it to Cregan. The ball's poked free from Cregan. Ball's on the carpet. They'll run it back. It's a scoop and score. Mission accomplished. It's Grant Clark.
Grant Clark, we talked about it before the game. They want to score on defense. We've talked about it time and time again. That, I believe, is 3 scores from the defense and special teams. Sorry, that's 2. They had the touchdown brought back. You can see the ball being poked out, scoop and score by Grant Clark. There's a safety. They've had a return that got called back, very fortunate on the Knights, and they've had the scoop and score. Lots of scoring from the defense. Spartans have got to be happy.
Yeah, the Spartans have been just relentless this game. I've been watching it this entire time. It's some really impressive stuff we're seeing from them, and it's just pretty good.
Yeah, 1-5. You take a look at some records, 0-6, 1-5. 0-6 maybe is a little reflective of how this game has gone for North.
Yeah.
But 1-5 doesn't ever tell the story. I mean, strength of schedule, but just in general, if you look at final scores, that tells you nothing. That doesn't give you a real good insight on the game. I mean, a game could be 13-0, and every single one of those 13 runs in baseball could be earned, on hard, long pitches, long at-bats. So
Yeah.
a score never tells the full tale. But Ezana, if you leave us with one note here before we head into this fourth quarter, let us know what you're thinking, and we'll bring you back on before the end of the game. One big note, what do the Knights got to do to get on the board?
What the Knights got to do to get on the board, they just got to start moving that ball down the field more. They got to start throwing. They got to start running. They have not had a lot of success with just a lot of the offensive and a little bit on the defensive end, too. They've been struggling because the Spartans just keep scoring after just over and over again. And Knights got to get on that. There's just got to be something that happens. They can't just let that keep going.
Of course, a bit of a mental battle there. Thank you, Ezana. We'll be back with you at the end of the fourth quarter. Again, that was Ezana Dubale. That's our rules analyst. We will be back with you in a moment.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ezana. We are back here for another kickoff here from Cooper Whitworth. We've seen just about everything. What's your bets on now, Noah?
Oh, I say minute 41 seconds left. They got to be going long right. Finally, get one of them.
And the ball's fumble here for the Knights. Cunningham has some troubles. He's blown up on the right side.
Real hard. That's Cunningham yet again. He's had a little trouble holding on to the ball this game. I believe that's 2 muffed punts. And while Ezana was talking, he had one little live ball, dropped ball that luckily he recovered. Had a little trouble holding on to the ball. Been brought down hard. Can't really blame it on him.
Yeah, Graydon Cunningham. Yeah, he's the one of the newer guys on the team. You don't see him a whole lot. We haven't called his name out a lot this year. He's a junior on the squad. He's getting a lot more reps this year. His first year playing some serious varsity minutes, and he hasn't underperformed. He's done well on defense. Fitting right in with the Knights scheme.
Yeah.
Got to get that hands up though. Jalen Blue is ransacked in the backfield. That is a sack and a dominant one at that for the Spartans. That's Kaylee Minor.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was 3 Spartans linemen chasing him, but really there wasn't. It was 2, and Scott Tobar just really goes to show the different levels of these lines, just pushing straight through the offensive line of the Knights. Really nothing they can do to stop him.
Yeah, Scott Tobar, we talked about him pregame. The kid's new. This is freshman on varsity. A typical tale with a couple guys each year. Looking to get the running game going, but Jalen Blue does it himself. An impressive run there for the size he is. The guy can move.
Yeah. I mean, that was a really physical run. You saw it. I saw it. Just run straight through the contact. We've said it time and time again. Central's been killing it, but if we can get this going, we can end the game with something.
Yeah, Knights need some points on the board. Another time, not another timeout. That'll be the end of the third quarter. Your score right now, 58-0. Spartans in the driver's seat so far. See the Knights hanging their heads a little, but a lot of them are up. There was some first half frustration. Obviously, there's some frustration here. Senior night, 58 points. Probably not going to get it all back in 12 minutes. That would be Minneapolis Miracle and then some.
Yeah.
Square rooted and then to the 47th power. You would have to pull some witchcraft to get these scores even. 60 points is nearly insurmountable for the Knights, but you need a couple touchdowns. Momentum shifts your way. You're feeling good. There's still half a stadium full of fans ready to watch you play and ready to watch you do something here in this last quarter of play.
Yeah, this feels like a tale as old as time for the Knights. I mean, just really going into that fourth quarter, heads hanging low. Can't be letting that happen. Got to get something going for them. And Jalen Blue holds on to the ball, rushes it yet again. 2 yard. Actually, no yards on the try.
12 minutes of running clock ahead of us. This game will go by fast. Knights looking to slow it down a little bit. Maybe got to put the ball in the air here in this fourth quarter because you can't get away with this. We did also say the fourth quarter was going to go by fast against North Point in week 1 here in the booth. And again, we touched on that earlier. It was about an hour long.
Yeah,
so.
That fourth quarter was about the length of the rest of the game. So Jalen Blue holds on to the ball, looking deep and overthrown. Couldn't find his man.
That one might have been personal. That looked like it was a rocket into the bench.
That was aimed at Winston Cregan, just overthrown straight into the central sideline.
Yeah, rough pill to swallow there. You get the ball back, try to do something with it in that opening drive of the fourth quarter. Your basically last chance to do something here before it gets real rough. Spartans will be able to chip away at most of this clock now. I mean, 11 minutes seems like a lot of time, but running clock, 40 seconds to play, and with as dominant as this Spartans offense has been, they can move the ball, get a solid 6 minutes off the clock here, starting inside their own 30.
Yeah.
Ball goes in the air. Nearly picked off.
Oh, my goodness.
Javon Godfrey got 2 hands on that ball, and it still almost fell into the hands of central receiver. We haven't called his name out much. That's Braxton Gordon. He's the junior tight end.
Yeah, Javon Godfrey, I mean, it looked like that was in his hands, just pops over him, and still Central almost gets lucky. It seems like almost everything's going for him. Almost fell into his hands like a gift, just happened to bobble out. Campbell again, it's going to be a rush. He's up, brought down. That was Will Brown yet again. We've called his name multiple times this game. Once again, sticks are moving. First down just outside the 10. I believe they're on the 14. Looking to get that score again with just under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Up 58-0.
Holding will pull the Spartans back a near touchdown, but it comes back to around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the one big critique for the Spartans this game. It's the penalties. They've had holding. They've had blocks in the back. They've had offsides. Brings back the big plays. Now, I wouldn't call that one a big play, but definitely it would have helped help them and help their situation.
Yeah, whether it's a big play or a crucial play. Big play for sure. Crucial, you could probably scratch that word off, as this score is 6 points won't do too much. That ball ran up the left side there. Great physicality
that was
shown by Caden Rowell.
Yeah. Caden Rowell, I mean, wow, I thought he was going to be down way before the line of scrimmage. Runs into his own lineman, faces a wall of nothing, no gaps there, turns around, makes his run, and somehow gets the yards back. If I'm the Knights, I've got to be frustrated there. Probably should have had him down 2 seconds earlier and 5 yards earlier.
Of course, Caden Rowell, he's got 136 yards coming into this game, and just a few more since then, as that is his first notable carry. Knights will jump off sides and give Caden Rowell a bit of an extra boost as he stays in the backfield.
Yeah, we see Caden Rowell and Will Brown in the backfield. Sorry, just Will Brown now with Campbell.
Campbell takes a snap on the goal line, hands it off. Brown up the middle, takes it, physical, running into the end zone.
Into the end zone.
Spartans push this lead another 6 points over the 60-point mark. And this rivalry is not looking to be as close as maybe some of the fans were hoping.
And
but
there's a North player down.
Yeah, if you're a Central fan, there's not much more you could really hope for. This game has been pure dominance for the Spartans, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon.
No, for sure. 7 minutes, 50 seconds left. Spartans up 64-0. There's a North player down, getting checked on. Haven't been able to see who that is yet. Still surrounded by trainers. You don't love to see that from any side of the ball. No matter what the score is, no matter how chippy the game is. It's different when you're healthy and playing football. You can be mad at them, but when they're injured, lying on the ground, you never want to see it.
No, not at all. End of the day, again, these kids, they all live in the same neighborhoods, streets away. They go to the same places for for football training. You know, they could play other sports together. These kids, they're all friends.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. They grew up together, just play for different teams, go to different schools. So when it's all said and done, they're all supporters. And we see Jacob Foster go down again. We touched on him earlier already tonight as he came out previously. Again, he had the shoulder a couple weeks ago. Seems like it's his ankle again, a third time this season.
Yeah, Jacob Foster had a lot of health problems in the past. You mentioned his shoulder. You mentioned his ankle. He's had problems in the past seasons. Really sucks to see him go down, especially on senior night as a senior. Not only that, but an experienced player like him we really needed on the team. No matter what the score is, no matter how much time is left, you hate to see him go down.
Yeah, we're seeing an unrostered varsity player check into the game now. It's going to be number 76. He just subbing in for Jacob Foster here on the kick return. Or on the, on the PAT attempt. He's been perfect, and he continues the traditions there.
Yeah, that pushes the score up to 65-0.
And this ties the biggest loss in Francis Howell North season so far this year, with 65 points just last week.
And there's
towards
still
West.
7 minutes and 50 seconds left. And remember, folks, this all started with a fumble from the
Winston
Knights.
Cregan, that was a tough pill to swallow. They get the completion they've been looking for a while, and ultimately it contributes to the last 3 games where the Knights have been outscored 187-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's brutal. Knights 187-0. There's not much excuses that you can put on that.
No, that is failing to stop a team's electric offense. That's one thing, but when you fail to put points on the board week in, week out, it has been a struggle.
Yeah. It for sure has been a struggle. Kick is up. Kick is big. This is going to be returned once again by...
That's going to be Graydon Cunning, or it's going to be Jackson Gamby on the return, brought down around the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Jackson Gamby, seen him a couple times on return. Bigger return than he's had so far. Still brought down around the 25, just above it.
Just had to crunch some numbers there, Noah. Sorry about that. Looking at point differential on the season, the Knights have scored 13 points through 6 games now, heading this 7th game. But 310 points is the point differential. 323-13 has been outscored. That is what you call a struggle, both offensively and defensively. Now,
I don't know if it's clicking to them how big 310 points is.
Yeah, that's a lot of touchdowns. I'm no good at math. That's what took me so long on the old calculator. I can't even hit buttons correctly. But it's going to be it's going to be 44 touchdowns that the Knights are down by. Touchdowns take a while to score. Even if you're getting kick return after kick return, it's going to be about a full quarter of play of straight kick returns to tie that score up, 323-13. But the Knights, they're not going to. Again, we just said it. They're not going to score 310 points. They're not going to score 44 touchdowns, but they have to get something. It starts somewhere. Whether they win the next game, whether they win, this game, it's not over yet. Whether they win a game this season, whether they win a game next year. Pieces start to fall in place. Maybe it's a couple more touchdowns. Maybe you get a nice running back in the freshman class, and in 3 years he develops. Like the North student section.
Something is important.
Something is important. Whether that's real statistics, whether that's personnel, that's very dependent on, it's by chance, realistically. It is a lot of by chance.
Yeah. However, I will say, looking at the score, looking at the past scores, it's really hard to find a silver lining, but at some point, the Knights have got to take these games and learn from them.
Yeah.
Learn, see what have we done wrong, what have we done right, and try and implement that into the new game.
I have seen progress. Again, I've called plenty of football games up here in the booth, and I've only ever missed 2 high school games so far. And Another man down for the Knights. But I've only ever missed 2 of these football games over the past 2 years, and if I wasn't there, I'd heard about them. But I've seen the team grow. You can see it, if you really pay attention. Students around the school watching the games in the student section may not see it, but the team has grown, and the team, they progress. Each game, injuries, they overcome adversity, but the team last year in the 24-25 season looks drastically different from the team this year. The team this year looks more put together. The guys look more as a community. The brotherhood in that locker room is built now. Last year there were some struggles. People were quitting on the team. There hasn't been as much quitting this year, especially from notable players. Maybe some guys go down to C team. Maybe some guys, oh, well, whatever. I'm not getting a whole lot of playing time. Okay. But the notable players are sticking with this team, and that's a very good thing to note. That means the culture's growing, which means the pull to the program was going to grow.
Yeah.
So it's going to take time. But, yeah, you just noted out Graydon Cunningham goes down. He's taken some big hits tonight.
He sure has, yeah. All through this game, hasn't really been able to get much. Been a big, crucial player, though. May not be the biggest player, but definitely has been crucial. He's been taking punts, returning kickoffs, really been especially important on the special team side of the ball. Been hit hard almost every time, though. Props to the guy for getting back up. Snap is good. It's going to be a pass to Winston Cregan. Winston Cregan, over 10-yard reception. Probably the first one of the game for the Knights. Big reception, getting momentum going, moving the sticks for the Knights. Winston Cregan, he's had some attempts so far this game, but hasn't been able to pull in much. That was his first over 10-yard reception on the game. Once again, thrown to Winston Cregan, dropped by Winston Cregan as well. Unfortunately, not an easy catch there, but just bobbles out of his hands, straight on the sidelines, right around the 50.
Yeah, nice offense trying to get a beat on something as the final 5 minutes of action come to a close. Dean Hyatt trying to run this under center position better than he has the past 2 games.
As you mentioned, Dean Hyatt taking the snap.
4 men out wide. Only 1 quarterback protector.
Dean Hyatt finds his man, only gets 1 to 2 yards.
Yeah, Gamby gets knocked down after a very short gain.
Yeah, seemed like a big throw for such a short gain. Just goes to show how good the Spartans D-line has been. Had to get that one out fast and had to get it out fast from deep.
Yeah. A little cross-body check down. Nothing comes easy with this Spartan defense. They have been relentless getting to the ball carriers. Their coverage downfield has been phenomenal. We haven't seen a ball thrown in the air completed over 5 yards, it seems like.
Yeah,
or if it was an exception.
Other than that throw by Winston Cregan, he is looked for again. Seemed to have been some contact before the ball gets there. Nothing called.
Yes, I'm wondering if the refs maybe called that an uncatchable ball. Like they couldn't have made a play regardless.
Sure.
But
definitely was some contact before the ball got there. Wondering if it could have impacted the play. But either way, Dean Hyatt back in.
Yeah, it seemed like that ball was pretty far out in front of Cregan. But if there's a penalty, you got to call it, no matter how much it impacts the play.
3 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock.
See trips spread out on the bottom side of your screen. Takes off. It's a stop and go. Hyatt can't find him. He takes
Still
off.
on his feet.
Fights off a few defenders.
Still going, gets the 10.
Gets the first down.
And more. Gets the first down and an extra 6 yards.
Bench gets some excitement. That's all you need. That was a simple 11-yard rush. Well, maybe not simple, but it was an 11-yard rush, and the entire stadium erupted with excitement. Up here in the press box, producers were getting excited. Seeing next to me some of the basketball coaches and scoreboard runners, they were getting excited about that 11-yard rush. That's no 70-yard passing touchdown. That's nothing that's out of the ordinary for a lot of teams. But it just goes to show how, no matter what, the Knights have support from their fans.
I mean, yeah, and we talked about it. Not just support from the fans, but supporting each other as a team. That really gets the morale up. Just you don't even have to score. Just getting some momentum, moving the ball.
See Javon Godfrey, his first carry of the night, coming off the high ankle sprain. Gets a couple yards, about 2 yards there on the carry from Godfrey.
Probably about 2 yards more than he should have gotten, though, fighting through that contact.
On that play. Brings up 2nd and 8 from the 41.
Dean Hyatt in again to take the snap. That ball is going to be ran for about 2 yards by the Knights offense.
Timeout of the field called by the Knights.
Timeout called by the Knights.
Second timeout. 2 timeouts remaining.
All right, 1 minute left to play here. We're going to have Ezana Dubale come back down to get a bit of a post-game recap here in just a few minutes. Noah, tell us a little about this fourth quarter and what's really gone on for the Knights. It's looked better. It's looked better, and we're going to have Ezana on as well to tell you a little about what he's seen up top. But Noah, start us off.
Yeah, I will say I haven't seen much change, but there definitely has been change for the Knights, for the good. The Knights, they've gotten a couple plays going. They've had that 10-yard reception about from Winston Kriegel. They had the Dean Hyatt quarterback run for 11 yards. I mean, they've been able to move the ball definitely better. Not amazing, haven't scored, but it's better. It's a great improvement. Meanwhile, the Spartans, still no turnovers, still been scoring. Score is 65-0. I mean, it shows on the scoreboard exactly how this game's going. Ezana, what have you seen?
All right, well, it's great to see stuff like this early on in the game. I think that the North Knights have come a little bit too late with this great defense and offense that they're running. They definitely have been coming back, but it's just not showing on the scoreboard, and it hasn't translated very well.
Yeah.
But they've done what they can, and that's some great stuff to see. You just saw, as I said earlier, the Spartans picked up some really good momentum early on in the game, and they just kept it going. They never stopped. They were relentless, especially Ashton Payton. You got to give him his flowers. He had so many running yards, and he was just on fire. There was nothing that was stopping him.
And that deep ball, that momentum that you talked about all started from the very beginning of the game, and they kept it rolling throughout the entire game. It started with the fumble on one of the first plays of the game. As I say that, intercepted by the Spartans, bounces through the hands of Jackson Gamby just to get intercepted by the Spartans. What a way to add to the finishing touches of this game. 21 seconds on the clock, gets intercepted. But yeah, this momentum all started from a fumble on one of the first plays of the game. Spartans get the ball, they score, and it continues to happen over and over again. Ezana, what have you seen from the offensive side of the Spartans ball?
On the side of the Spartans ball, they've just been staying true to that pass-run option. They have been consistent. They have made the right decisions. They have not thrown a lot of interceptions, and they are just staying focused and pushing that ball down any way that they can. There's really no rhyme or reason. They are just doing what works, and it's great to see, especially this consistency. Especially this consistently.
Yeah, as you said, with that run-pass offense, I mean, they've been running it every single play, and that's going to be game. Knights, Spartans, line up, shaking hands. Can't say it was a great game for the Knights, but definitely saw some improvements going through the end of the game, hoping to get that to transfer throughout the next game where they can get that ball movement, keep it going, maybe even score something in the next game. Definitely would be a big improvement over the last 3 games. I believe that's over 180 points of point differential, 180 points to 0 against the Knights. What have you seen on the Knights' defensive side of the game, however, this game?
Well, I heard a lot of talk from the coaches, and it's just, it has not been there. Like, I'm sure you've seen, if you heard me talk about it, the Spartans' offense has been some great stuff, and they just cannot keep up. It's really just a different level that they're playing on, and there's not much that the Knights can do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not much the Knights can do. This Spartans offense is really powerful. I mean, it showed. They had a lot. It showed. They had a lot of strength. They had fighting through the contact. They ran through that contact and stayed on their feet, breaking tackles, getting passes off. I mean, yeah, there wasn't much the Knights could have done in this game. You could see them trying their best, however.
All right, I am here with Kyndal Jacobs. She is the starting middle blocker for the girls varsity volleyball team. Kyndal, tell us a little bit about last night's match.
We played a great game against Howell. The first time ever we beat them in a set since 2018 with a good point differential that we've ever had in the program season, but unfortunately we weren't able to finish it out. We ended up losing in 4 sets.
Yeah, so next week, taking a look ahead, growing from your mistakes. Next week sounds like you have a redemption chance. Tell us about that.
I definitely think it is a great time to defend our program. We are using this last game as like a kind of scouting situation for us. We're learning how to adjust to this team as they did to us and help them out. And then later on, we go and play another team that had previously beat us again, Fort Zumwalt West. And we're hoping to use those skills that we've been working on very hardly in this last practice today and come out with another win.
Yeah, so they're going to take on Francis Howell High School, a rematch from last night's loss. They'll take that on Monday. And then on Thursday at 6:30 p.m., they take on Fort Zumwalt West, another very high-caliber program. If you can't make it to the game, check out the live stream on FHNtoday.com/live right here. We'll be back announcing with you then. Again, if you can't make it, FHNtoday.com/live. Check at FHN Game Day for more updates. But for right now, back to you up in the booth.
All right. Yeah, I mean, great game from the Knights. Better way to end it. You can see moving the ball a lot better. Couldn't quite get anything going. Meanwhile, the Spartans got everything going, it seemed. Everything except for penalties. I could say it would have been a near-perfect game except for the penalties. What did you see out of the Spartans football today?
Well, personally, I mentioned earlier about how that fumble early in the game by the Knights had a really big effect on their momentum, and it swung the game. But now that I think about it, I'm going to come back to that. They had a safety back in the Knights' end zone. I think that was really the defining point when the Knights just lost that momentum that they usually start with in games like this. They always start these out thinking that they're going to win, and they really put the work in, and you can see it. But once things like that start stacking up, they just cannot push through. And honestly, I don't blame them.
And as I was talking about pregame, Jason Campbell leading that Spartans passing offense. We saw it multiple times throughout this game. That's not exactly deep balls, but the short little screen passes that led to deep plays. Multiple fades for touchdowns, lots of post low screens, always with those blockers from Central. Those big blockers coming in really helped the teams turn short plays into big plays. Not only that, the physicality of the Spartans to break through tackles, run through tackles, really wasn't more than one time I can think of off the top of my head that one guy brought down one guy for the for North. Meanwhile, the Spartans, every tackle was on point. They had forced turnovers every time. North really couldn't force a turnover when they needed it. What'd you see on the North defensive side of the ball?
The North defensive side of the ball, I said earlier, they could not catch up. But I also saw just a little bit of potential there. They did get some plays where they slowed it down, and I will give them their flowers for that. But they just needed to step it up, and they needed to step it up early. That loss of momentum they had early in the game, there was just not much they could do after that. And they got to keep bringing that same energy every single play, because if they let go of that, it's going to get bad quick, as you can see in the score.
Yeah, it really is. And it's shown in the last, not just the last 3 games where they haven't put up any points, but throughout the season. I mean, it's almost 400 points of point differential, over 300 points of point differential between the Knights and the opposition. Really trying to see what they can change going into the next games, what they can take from these games, and find what they did well, find what they did bad. This has been Knights football.